Hi everyone, I am Rajesh Kumar. I am having close to 16 plus years of experience in DevOps, SRE and DevSecOps. I have worked with more than 12 software organizations around the globe. I would like to introduce you all a DevOps School's flagship certification program in DevOps, SRE and DevSecOps. This program will get started in the weekends, so get enrolled. Please contact us on the phone number given on the screen, and in fact you can email us on the contact@DevOpsSchool.com.
Add a box to local. How? This is the command. Step number 2 he will do. Initialize a VM box. VM initialize means creating the VM from this box which he uploaded. And then step number 3, login to VM and use it. That's all. So this is the up and login. Up, start and login. This command will do that. And one more command is that login Vagrant SSH. I'll show you the demo. Understood now? Full cycle.
Yeah.
Just
So
the second step, right? In
What?
box. What is
What
the
is that?
second step?
This one?
No, it's here. Other engineers initializing a box.
This one? Initializing
Yeah.
the box means creating the box. And here starting the box. Initializing is a key term for the Vagrant, but in theoretically you can say create a box.
And before all this happens, we need to have the virtual machine, right?
So this is there, no? Add a box to local. This box has all the operating system. See here, CentOS 7. Got it?
it is just like we are pointing to one repository, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
We are not downloading anything. We are pointing to some repository and we are asking to create a VM in the default one like VirtualBox.
So here you are pointing the repository, and here the moment you init, it will download from that location and create a VM.
Okay, this will create the VM itself. We don't have to use VirtualBox then.
No, we don't have to. Okay, so now this is done. Where these are the places where so many VMs are there. So I'm using one of this. This I'm showing you, this one. Okay. So let me run the command. So what I was doing basically, where's my command line? Here. So here I will first run this command, which will add the Vagrant box. So enter. I did this. Internet should be there for that. And you see here, box adding, and here adding, you see here downloading is happening here. You see, I'll tell you, Manish, there is a certain files for the VM, okay? Whether you package in ISO or box or something else, like AWS package in something else, Azure package in something else, Vagrant package in the box, VirtualBox required ISO image. So different. How do you package? See, certain files you can copy in the zip file also, tarball also, or something else also. So that's a concept. Different tools, they support the different way because they find the limitation in a certain way. So they create their own ways to package it. That's all.
And Rajesh, the prerequisite to running this Vagrant box add command is to have VirtualBox and Vagrant installed on your machine, right?
Correct. Version both are required, prerequisite. Vagrant and VirtualBox both has to be installed.
Okay.
Just few seconds more. I did not download the very huge image. The size of that was this one, right? Size of this one is 348 MB. I think 1 or 2 minutes should be sufficient because internet speed is in home right now, so that's okay. So if you want to automate your life, don't get frustrated. Okay, there are tools, there are techniques that are available. Yes, it required 1 hour of learning process, but it will overall it will save lots of time if you look at the while working 5 years, 10 years, 20 years and all. So it's like that. Look, think in the long term, like how many times, how many hours will save if you use the right technologies. So if your teams are not using it and they're spending too much of time sharing the VM, creating the VM, this, that process, and you say like, why don't you use Vagrant? Why don't you use Vagrant? I'll teach you Vagrant. All of you have a one sessions. You know the Vagrant, you can teach entire team Vagrant and saving lots of time. And that is your objective of your organizations also. They want to save time, so you can focus, you guys focus on the coding and testing part more, not infrastructure creation and blah, blah, blah.
Rajesh, can you explain one more time, like how it is beneficial when you're using Vagrant compared to?
So see that here, only one time this activity is done by Rajesh, and he created a one nice. One guy has created one environment, entire environment boxes, and other people are just downloading and starting and using it. No need to bother and no need to ask. No UI operations and all. By the way, this download is also one time. This download is also one time. Once you download it, it will be in your local, and every time you just do one thing, init start, init start, init start. That's all.
It is something like a Docker file where we create whatever environment we require.
Docker image, Docker image, Docker image is equal to box. Docker file is equal to this one file will be created Vagrant file, configuration file, which I'll show you. So that will be there. So should be done by now. It's taking really lots of time. I'll pause the recording.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so I'm assuming right now the boxes has been downloaded. So I have a few boxes which is prepared downloaded. This one, CentOS minimum 1 to 16. So what to do now? So after this, you got this here done. Now you are going to initialize this. How do we are going to initialize this? So initialize what? So initialize 1 to 16 because I have that boxes available. So this command I'm running it, and where I'm running it. Clear the screen. dir is to be empty, and yes, it's empty. So remember, I'm running in the directory 2. Here it's empty. Now look at this. Look, clear the screen and run this command. And you see that directory is filling up with some of the file. Okay, back here you see here. So now there's one file got created here. So this is a part of the init process. So if you are talking about the Docker context, this is the Docker file, you can say like that. Okay, so image is somewhere in the system locations, but this is the configuration file for the initialization. So one VM has been placed in the directory. You are now ready to Vagrant up. That means this is the configuration file for the VM, and after that, at this file you have lots of things. Okay, right now I'm not complicating, but this is the network setting, environment, and many other stuff which we have for this. See here. So many things which you have is a template, it's a basic template. So many things you can set a memories, UI true, false, network settings, specific IP address, many things you can do that. But right now not needed. So now I did this, this is second step which I did in it. And finally, when you want to start this VM, Vagrant up. So now you start the VM. Let me show you the virtual box. See here, this is my VM which I created Linux 2, and I'm expecting one more VM. I'll keep refreshing it. And where is that? Up, still upping. And the name of this is 1 to 16. So where is that? I think this, no, let's run it and then we'll get confirmed, because naming is little different. So I'm looking for, there's no filter actually. Now starting the VM, see the setting up the network and all blah, blah, blah. And booting the VM now. And here it is. Did you see the notice that at the bottom section of the VirtualBox, there is one VM, all of you? Here,
Yeah.
all of you. So that's your VM. And here now you are interacting with using Vagrant. So now the VM is running. Okay. See here, username is this one. Password, it's a SSH will be set, so passwordless. You can set the password also. Here key pair is being set. So now what I did, I started the VM. So here I added the boxes, initialization up, and finally I'll log in. How do I log in? So Vagrant SSH. This is the way to log in. If it is Windows, WinRM, okay? And here, see, this is my Windows machine. And Vagrant SSH. By the way, if you do the Vagrant SSH, it's good to do through the bash, git bash, okay? Because this command line is not a shell for SSH. It's not a shell for SSH. Though it will log in, but it's not a good way to work with it. So if you use the git bash or something like that, or maybe this one, this Visual Studio, Code Studio, it will be better for you. So let it come. Guys, where I am right now, I'm inside the VM. See here, this is Linux. Got it, all of you?
So how did we see that, you saw that the VM was running in like the virtual box, right? Like how did you know that it was the VM that we had generated? Like how would we find out?
Each directory will have only one VM. One VM, two VM, like that. So that's the reason you saw that I created this one. But here, if you see the first one, still not configured anything. So each VM, you have to go inside that VM and then up an SSH. Each directory, sorry, each directory.
I mean, in VirtualBox, right, you showed that VM was up and running, right, in VirtualBox.
Yes.
So how would we know that it is the VM that we started that is running? Because there are two things that are running. How would we know which one is ours?
I just said, no, you don't have to interact with the VirtualBox. I'm showing you because you don't need to interact. I just said, if you want to interact, here you have all the VMs, each directory, whichever the VMs, and you can go inside that and up an SSH. That's all.
Okay, so that was just to show us where it was running.
That was I'm showing you how in the backend you don't have to go for that to identifications, because they'll have used their own names and all stuff like that. But I just wanted to show you because you should know back.
Okay, good.
So basically you are interacting with this one. Okay, right now in backend, so exit. Now you are in Windows. So right now you are in Windows. Understood, all of it?
Yes.
Yeah. So now guys, this is the way every developers work. So this was the second flow I showed you. I will go add any boxes to local initialize, start and log in and start using it and do whatever you want. Now, how do we create a boxes then? Let's say you want to create a boxes. How do we create a boxes? So here there is a command. If you see that, see some of the commands I want to show you, which is very easy. Now, first command which I want to show you here, box, which is I use one of the command box add and box list, but there's so many commands are there which you have to get into that. So clear the screen. Vagrant box -h for help. So whatever the command sub commands which is available for the boxes, you will see that. My system is slowing a little bit, but yeah, that's okay. So here these are the command. You can add up boxes, list out the boxes. Outdated, you can delete the boxes using clone and remove. You can repackage the boxes and update the boxes. Okay, update the boxes means new download will have. So these are the commands which you can work with the boxes. Now here, if you want to destroy the virtual machines using command line, destroy. If you want to stop it, halt. If you want to initialize, I showed you just now. If you want to up command, start that. And if you want to log in through SSH, here. But if you want to log in through the PowerShell, Windows VM, PowerShell. Okay. So some of the commands, if you want to resume the VMs, resume this. If you want to pause the VM, so you can pause that VM also. Suspend this machine. Okay. So this is the
So-
way you can.
Sorry, one question. If let's say we're creating a VM, right? Like, with all the software and stuff that we want, that's the base box that you're talking about, right?
Yes.
What happens to licenses and things like that? Like, let's say I install Visual Studio, right, in that box. Like, when you replicate that box, like what happens to, the initial box would have some license and all that, right, for that software. That
So yeah, so that will be vary as per the host, whatever the license agreement you have. Remember that each box consume one, each host consume one license as per the host licensing agreement. So now most of the time what will happen, you know what? See, license you do not pay for the you pay for the runners and builders. These are available free of cost without any license. Licenses we pay for the some of the software like ID, advanced ID, and plus Visual Studio and stuff like that, which is ID. Remember, Visual Studio is a ID, advanced ID. For that probably you pay for it, but you don't pay for the runtime environment. And in the VMs we run the runtime. Getting your points? Let's say you have a Oracle uh, uh, license. So now Oracle is they release that in the Oracle Express Edition, Community Edition, and Enterprise Edition. For testing the software, for running the environment and all, you don't need those edition. You want the much more features, then you want that one. And so for the production, anyways, you are using that. Okay, there are multiple variant for each tools you get it. Got it.
If you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopsschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video.
Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest.
Thanks for watching.